All right, welcome. Today we're going to tackle a bit of a puzzle. It's all built around one single question. But the answer, well, it unlocks the very foundation of our legal system. Where our laws actually come from. It might sound simple, but trust me, the details are where it gets really interesting.
So here it is. This is the central puzzle for today. Just take a second and read through the options. Which one feels right to you? And hey, don't sweat it if you're not sure. The whole point of this explainer is for us to break this down together, piece by piece.
Okay, so before we can even start picking apart those options, we got to get on the same page with the key terms. I like to think of the sources of law like these two giant rivers that have literally carved out our society over hundreds of years. So let's define them.
First up, we've got legislation. And yeah, you could say this is the biggest, most powerful river of them all. This is the law that's debated, created, and passed by the people we elect to Parliament. You'll hear it called statutes or acts of Parliament, but it all means the same thing. It's how we proactively make the rules for everyone.
And then we have our second river, the common law. Now this one, well, it's a completely different animal. It's not something politicians write down in a big book. Nope. It's built up slowly, case by case, over centuries. Every time a judge makes a ruling in a new kind of situation, they're basically carving out a new path. That's what we call a precedent, and future judges are expected to follow it.
All right, so now that we've got our two main rivers straight, legislation and common law, we can put on our detective hats. Let's go through those options and find the imposters that are trying to throw us off.
Okay, let's look at option one. Right off the bat, it looks pretty good, right? Legislation, the common law, we know those are legit. But then it throws in a criminal law. And this is where the puzzle gets tricky. So here's the question you have to ask yourself. Is criminal law a source of law? I mean, is it where law comes from, in the same way Parliament is a source? Or is it something else entirely? And here's the key distinction, right here. A source is where the law originates. Think of it like the spring that feeds the river. An area of law is just what the law is about, like a part of the landscape the river flows through. Criminal law is an area, a huge one for sure, but it's not a source. The rules of criminal law can come from either legislation or the common law. So with that, option one is officially out.
All right, on to suspect number two, option two. And again, at first glance, it looks solid. We've got legislation, we've got the common law, but then there's that third item, judge-made law.
Does anything here seem, I don't know, a little repetitive to you? Think back to how we defined our terms just a minute ago. Bingo, it's a classic redundancy. Common law is judge-made law. They're two names for the exact same thing. It's like making a list that says apples, oranges, and apples. It's not technically wrong, but it's definitely not the most correct and complete description we're looking for. So option two, gone.
All right, now we get to option three. And this one is sneaky. The common law? Check. Acts of Parliament? Well, we know that's just another name for legislation, so check. Both of these are absolutely sources of law. So what could possibly be wrong here?
I mean, this is so close. It nails the two main rivers we talked about. But remember, the question asks for the most correct description. Is this the whole story, or is there a crucial piece of the puzzle still missing? Okay, we've eliminated the imposters. It's time for the reveal. Let's uncover the complete answer. And there you have it. The most correct, the most complete answer is the common law, legislation, and equity. Equity, that's the missing piece we've been looking for. It's the key that unlocks the whole thing. So what on earth is equity? Well, the best way to think of it is as a spring of fairness. See, for centuries, the common law could sometimes be really rigid, leading to results that were legal, sure, but just felt wrong, unjust. Equity is what allows judges to step in, look at the specific circumstances of a case, and apply principles of justice to get to a fair outcome. So here's a super simple breakdown of how it works. First, you have a dispute where the strict rules of the common law just don't offer a fair solution. So next, one of the parties basically appeals to the court's sense of fairness, its conscience. And finally, the judge can apply these principles of equity to find a just solution that the common law couldn't provide on its own. So there are our three streams: legislation, common law, and equity. But let's get to the big picture. Why does this three-stream system even matter?
Well, it's all about balance. It's not just that there are three sources. It's about how they interact. You've got legislation, which gives us stability and clear rules from Parliament. Then you have the common law, which provides incredible flexibility because judges can adapt it to new situations as society changes. And finally, you have equity, which acts as the system's conscience, making sure that the pursuit of the law doesn't lead to injustice. Altogether, they create a legal framework that is designed to be both stable and fair, powerful and flexible.
So, we've solved our puzzle for today. But, as it often goes, answering one question just opens up a new, maybe even bigger one. It leaves us with a final thought to chew on. If laws can be made by Parliament and by judges, what happens when those laws conflict? Who gets the final say? Now that's a puzzle for another time. Thanks for digging into this with me.